Today, we're going to be farming some of the best solo gear in the game. This stuff will take you to a whole nother level. That'd be PvP or PvE. I'm going to show you where to farm it, what perks to roll with it, and precisely which ones are actually best in slot. We're going to be covering everything from armor sets, weapons to jewelry. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Starting off, Syncretic. This is a huge upgrade once you grab it. The only thing better in the game will be your Gorgonite bow. Hopefully one day you'll be able to acquire it. Now this thing's coming in hot, not like my hairline, that thing is long gone. Starting off with Abyssal Tunic, Keenly Jagged, and Enchanted. Pretty much best in slot, what more can you ask for? And it's not only the bow that this thing excels in. Syncretic is good for the musket, the fire staff, even the ice gauntlet can be used here. So if you're looking for a solid range weapon, this is the place to go. By the way, we are here on Brimstone. Want to head into this little tent area. And you want to kill any enemies that have that kind of weird name tag. They're a little tanky, so they will take a bit to kill. Let's take down our first victim here, as he's preventing us from getting loot, and we cannot let that stuff slide. About to eat this man's soul. Let's see what we roll. Syncretic hatchet, bam, first try. Rogue Keenly Jagged, not even bad hatchet spawn here. Here's another sacrifice to our cause. Remember guys, it's always worth it as long as they have loot. We're not killing, we're sending them to a different realm. Think of it positively. We're gonna squash this bug. Let's see if we get anything. No, he's bone dry, just like my wallet. Let's hop up top here, see what else we can find. There is potentially more enemies in this area over here that can also drop a bowl. So if you're feeling like a bit of a loot goblin, go venture off yonder. But this is where I like to sit and farm, as these guys do relatively spawn fast, efficiently, and they're a delicious meal. And since I'm giving you some of the best guidance on new, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And while you're at it, become a YouTube channel like my boy Dark Z and get exclusive perks. And become one in the Hall of Fame. And with that, on to our next loadout, boys. If you guys love morning wood, well, Woodgrain is for you, because this thing is going to make you rock hard. It has the best earring in the entire game. For medium and heavy builds, comes with fortifying toes, refreshing toes, and regenerating. What more could you ever want? And it also comes with some good gear as well. I'll showcase that after I show you the location. So here we are on the map. We have to head over to Malevolence. Don't worry, it's safe here. Once you're 65, just run all the way up this tomb. There'll be some pesky little rats in here with bows. Don't worry, we just run right past them. They got the aim of a soul grot. Not very good. Well, let's continue speed running all the way out to the top. Finally, we've reached the summit. Now we'll fight Banes here, a man that looks like he's jacked up, but he's only jacked up on Mountain Dew. So he's angry, ferocious, but we'll take him out in a quick kill. We'll anger all his buddies here. Don't worry, we can take care of them with relative ease. We are a great sword abuser after all, and this thing slaps hard. Now that we've dispatched the civilians and there's no witnesses, we can claim our prize. One glowing sap and a primitive hatchet. Oh, looks like we took a big L tonight. But glowing sap, by the way, can be sold on the market for an extra bit of coin. Now, let me get straight into the other gear we can acquire. Don't worry, boys, he responds faster than New World devs put content into the game, so you won't be bored like I have been for months. What a journey this has been. And he even drops loot. Now, let me show you some crucial gear that you may want for your build. With the Woodgrain set, we have some armor here. It's all heavy, it's aight. Don't worry about it too much. The Woodgrain greatsword here is really good if you don't want to be forced into using an artifact greatsword. Really strong, highly recommend picking it up. Same with the longsword, both very good options if you're able to pick them up while you're looking for that earring, boys. Another one that stands out to me is the blunderbuss. Shirking and keenly empowered, pretty much best in slot here for blunderbuss. Until you get to, once again, the Gorgon blunderbuss. The Woodgrain lifestaff is also a great lifestaff to grab up if you're looking for some extra heals. Comes with Fortifying Sacred Ground and Savior, two really good perks. That's going to be all for Woodgrain, but the next gear gets even better, so make sure to stay tuned to that. Off to the Gypsum Kiln. Now this is where you can even get better gear than in Gorgon, and we're talking about Frigid Dawn, the best armor in the entire game if you can slot it into your build. Because with Enchanted Ward and Elemental Aversion, you can put then the third perk on here. This thing is an absolute beast of a machine, allowing you to clock in 2 illegal perks and just steamroll over the enemy. Right now, it spawns in Glacial Tarn, and it's mutated right now, so let's get those number up, boys. It's time to farm a dungeon, and it's time to get some best in slot gear. Technically, fully BIS Gorgon gear is still better, but only if it's fully BIS 725, I would say you would choose it over Frigid Dawn. You can't really outdo this bad boy. Next up, if you're looking for a nice hat, you may be going bald and wanting to cover up that shiny new chrome dome you've been acquiring. I recommend coming into the Gypsum Kilns, typing in Grave Robber hat. This thing is an absolute beauty. Enchanted / conditioning. Then you can put Shirking Heals on this as your third perk, an absolute monster in PvP. Acquired in a need. And once again, it does have to be mutated, and lucky for you, it's mutated right now, boys. So grab your pickaxes and it's time to start farming. And with that, I'm going to show you now how to get the best amulet in the entire game until Gorgon. Let's jump straight into that. This next area contains some of the best in slot gear. My favorite, the amulet, which I'm still rocking to this day. Divines, health, better perks could a man ask for here. And I chose to rock Shirking Empowered because this makes me a demon on the battlefield. If you're a bit more of a coward, I highly recommend putting a protection perk here, as that is the coward's way out. Another great piece of jewelry is your life loot. Comes with Healthy Toast and Refreshing Toast, 2 beautiful perks. If you're a DPS, I highly recommend putting a Empowering perk on here, which increases your damage whenever you drink a potion. This is the best earring in the entire game for a light DPS build, in my opinion. Where does that bad boy come from? In need. So once again, has to be mutated. You have to be locked in. Grab your shovels, boys, because it's time to go digging for content. But back to Life Ring. Life Ring spawns in this area right here. Torto Riven. If I decided to hit this guy, I would only be digging my own grave. This one, you will need a group for it, so come prepared. Now let me show you some of the best in slot things you can acquire from Life Ring. The armor, it's okay. Unless you're making a nature harnessing build, then it's pretty solid. The Life Ring Longsword, Vicious Enchanted, 2 very solid perks, so you can pick up a pretty good sword here. And best in slot Rapier in the entire game comes with Vicious Rogue, an illegal perk combination. So we'll be hitting it hard from the back because it comes with Rogue Vicious. This is pretty much best in slot until you can get a Gorgonite Rapier that's 725. Same with the spear here. Spear, really good. Vicious, Keenly Jagged. If you're not an absolute life-stealing goblin like myself, this one is very good as well. If you're looking to freeze some people to death like you're in the homeland of Canada, this Ice Gauntlet comes with Healing Tomb. So if you're looking for a Healing Tomb Ice Gauntlet, this one could be the one for you. The earring here is also very good. Not as good as the other 2 I mentioned, but it's still slottable. You can also farm Woodgrain here as well. The reason why I recommend the other place for Woodgrain is simply because it's soloable. And now, it's time to head over to the best place in the entire game to grab loot. We're in Cutlass Keys over at the Wishing Well, and I'm wishing for you to like and subscribe. And while you're at it, become a YouTube channel member. I got cookies, and I know you want them. So while we're at the Wishing Well, here in Cutlass Keys, open it up. You'll be gaslit with a bunch of items. Smack that glittering gold key. You can grab 1 a week, 5 doubloons, stonks going up as you can trade this in 500. Next up, here are the best weapons you can grab extremely early on. They only cost you 750 moolah, and it comes with some very solid gear if you've just hit 65. But if you're a gambling addict and you have a crippling addiction, I recommend coming to the armor and weapons section, as for just $250, you can craft yourself a best in slot gear just by getting lucky. I need a helmet, so let's roll it, boys. We'll craft 1. Here we come. Remember, there is a loot bias in this game, so every time I open a crate, it will be for the type of gear I'm wearing. Let's open up our helmet. Come on, I'm looking good. 7-1, that's not too bad. What perks do we got? Enchanted, Fire, and Refreshing. That's actually really good if I was not a strength build. If that was an int, that could have been technically best in slot. But unlucky for me, I am a greatsword greaser. But this is a great place if you're looking to round out your build before you finally hit Gorgon, as there is a lot of good gear you can grab in here if you get lucky enough. I recommend just sticking to armor and avoiding trinkets, because trinkets can basically be farmed. Weapons can also pretty much be farmed, but gear, that's a whole different ball game. You can also make some gold in here by buying up these stat boost meal and trade boost meal. Bonus tip, boys. I'm a nice guy. I know. I'm generous. You can thank me later. If you guys are confused on where to grab those juicy doubloons, don't worry, I got you covered. The chest located right here on the map. Each day, you can go on an absolute adventure, so grab your friends, boys. It's time to hit the elite chest run. Travel to this way shot right here, and you'll travel through this whole zone. There is a bunch of little gremlins here you can farm, and the more you kill, the more money you make. You can get about 500 to 1,000 doubloons here, depending on how sweaty your group is. Now let's go back to some solo farming locations that you could be dying to see. Grab your gas mask, boys. It's time to farm Pitlord. We're over here in Shattered Mountain, right here on the map. He'll spawn right in this exact area. This man has a chance to drop the best in slot spear in the entire game that I still use till this day. The Corrupted Progenitor Spear. An absolute beauty. Shirking Abyss with Trenchant Strikes. And then I put that Leeching Cyclone on there because I'm a vampire, baby. I want to suck people dry. More importantly, he drops a Corrupted Totem. This totem can be farmed for 20,000 gold. If you're lucky and you get the gold one. But if you guys want the best place to actually just farm the weapons, open up your map and travel to this location right here. This is where I did it. He spawns much faster than Pitlord because Pitlord is like the devs. Slow, inconsistent, and always a disappointment. If you guys are looking for pure dopamine, don't worry, he has more weapons that will give you that exhilarating rush that you've been waiting for. The Corrupted Progenitor Hammer, I think, is very good. Trenchant Strikes with Lifesteal, and you can choose the third perk. Boys, we are cooking, and we're cooking good. The Fire Staff is also solid. Keenly Jagged Keen, not too bad. Corrupted Progenitor Lifestaff, arguably the best in-slot lifestaff that you can get in the entire game. So if you're a healing monster, aka a Rot Priest blessed with Refreshing Move, there's nothing more a man could ask for. One gear that can completely change your build. Boys, grab your pack, grab your Coca-Cola. Let's hit Shattered Mountain. Open up your map because this chest run's about to get wild and it's packed with some of the best loot in the entire game. Full disclosure, this elite chest run cannot be soloed unless you're some kind of god level chef like Gordon Ramsay, the Iron Chef himself. Let's jump straight into that best in slot gear I was talking about. Soul Shroud gear, boys. Now this is what we're talking about. That new greatsword I've been using and abusing, it comes with arcane harnessing and enchanted ward. So if you're looking for some best in slot gear for that greatsword, here it is. This thing would hit like an absolute freight train if you get some arcane harnessing gear, and this is where to farm it. It also comes with a very solid greatsword, Trenchant Crits, and Played Strikes. If, like, you hate healers today, this is the sword for you. The Soul Shroud Great Axe here, super good. Once again, Abyssal Attunement, pretty much best in slot on every Great Axe build, and Trenchant Crits. So if you're a heavy or medium bruiser boy, this one could be your dream lover. And hands down, the best in slot shield in the entire game, the Soul Shroud Round Shield. Keenly empowered with shield aggression. The only thing better than this is a Gorgon 725 shield. So until then, this will be your new girlfriend. The Soul Shroud Warhammer here, also an insane powerhouse for those bruisers out there. Abyssal Attunement with Trenchant Crits, pretty much best in slot until Gorgon, baby. We're really hitting the jackpot today. And if you're a thrust build, Leeching Thrust on your ring, well, that's what I call a combo. This can also drop Corrupted Progenitor gear as well on this run, so you could be getting a 2-for-1 deal. Now that's what I call a happy meal. You know what, boys? That's gonna wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed this or found something useful, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And I would love to have you as one of my founders for a YouTube channel member. The first 10 will be cemented in the Hall of Fame forever. And with that, peace.